Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You've come so far on your journey. You're not just surviving, but thriving through every challenge you've faced. And now, as you move forward on your unique path, there are things that may quietly hold you back without you even realizing it. Letting go of these patterns and beliefs is key to unlocking your true potential and reaching your amazing destiny. In this video, we'll dive into the changes you can make to align more deeply with your higher self and live a more fulfilling, authentic life. Let's dive in. Overcoming the pressure to please others. One of the most transformative shifts that occur during a spiritual awakening is realizing that we've been living much of our lives seeking validation from others. Think about how many decisions you've made because you were worried about what other people would think, whether it's something as small as the clothes you wear or as big as the career path you chose. We live in a world where social media likes, comments, and followers have become modern-day approval metrics, subtly or not so subtly, dictating our sense of self-worth. As you deepen in your spiritual journey, you begin to understand something crucial. The only validation that truly matters is the one that comes from within. This realization can feel liberating, almost like a weight being lifted off your shoulders. You start to see that people's opinions of you are more a reflection of their inner world than an accurate measure of who you are. Whether they like you or not, it has little to do with your intrinsic worth. What's interesting is that when you stop seeking external validation, it doesn't mean you become indifferent to others. Instead, you find a deeper connection with people, not based on needing their approval, but on genuine respect and shared experiences. You'll notice how your relationships transform. They become more authentic and less performative. The pressure to be liked, to fit in, to be accepted by everyone fades away, leaving room for you to fully express who you are without any pretense. Take, for example, your job. Maybe you once worked to impress your boss or colleagues, going above and beyond to meet others' expectations. After your spiritual awakening, you may find yourself working differently, not less, but more in alignment with your own values and sense of purpose. You start to ask yourself questions like, am I doing this because it's what I genuinely want, or because I want praise or approval? Over time, you'll begin to quit the constant striving for external approval and settle into the peaceful realization that you are enough, just as you are, detaching from material possessions. The second significant shift that happens during spiritual growth is a rethinking of your relationship with material possessions. Society teaches us that success is often measured by how much we accumulate, be it money, houses, clothes, or gadgets. But as your spiritual journey unfolds, you start to see the temporary nature of these things. They might bring fleeting moments of joy, but they rarely, if ever, lead to lasting fulfillment. It's not that material things are bad or wrong. After all, we live in a physical world where these things play a role. However, what changes is your attachment to them. Instead of letting your worth be defined by what you own, you begin to focus more on who you are. There's a growing recognition that true abundance comes from within, from the richness of your inner world, the quality of your relationships, and the depth of your connection to yourself and others. For example, you might start noticing that the thrill of buying a new gadget or outfit wears off quicker than it used to. Or maybe you find yourself decluttering your home, getting rid of items that no longer serve a purpose in your life. This isn't just about physical decluttering, it's also emotional and mental. You're making space for what truly nourishes your soul. Interestingly, as you let go of the need for constant material acquisition, you may find that you still experience abundance, but in a different form. You begin to appreciate the simple pleasures of life, a conversation with a friend, a walk in nature, the joy of a quiet moment to yourself. You become rich in experiences, in peace, and in fulfillment. Material things no longer define you. They become just one part of your life, not the whole of it, releasing the need for control. Another profound change that takes place during a spiritual awakening is the gradual release of the need for control. In the early stages of life, we are often conditioned to believe that if we can just control everything, our relationships, our career, our future, we'll be happy. We plan meticulously, we set goals, and we try to make everything fit into our idea of how life should be. But as you start to awaken, you realize something important. Control is, in many ways, an illusion. Now, this doesn't mean you become passive or just let life happen to you. On the contrary, what happens is that you begin to trust the flow of life more. You understand that while you can set intentions and take inspired action, there are some things that are simply out of your hands. This can be a challenging realization, especially for those of us who like to have everything just so. But with time, you come to see that letting go of control doesn't mean chaos. It means trusting in something bigger than yourself. For example, think about how often you've tried to control the outcome of a situation only to find that things didn't go the way you planned. Maybe you were disappointed or frustrated because you were so attached to a specific result. But what if instead of clinging to that outcome, you trusted that whatever happens is ultimately for your highest good? When you shift your perspective like this, you open yourself up to new possibilities, often ones that are even better than what you had originally imagined. This shift also applies to your relationships. Instead of trying to control how others behave or how they perceive you, you start to accept them as they are. You realize that you can't change other people, and in releasing that need for control, your relationships become more authentic and less strained. Ultimately, letting go of control brings a deep sense of peace. You start to live more in the present moment, appreciating what is, rather than constantly worrying about what might be. You learn to trust that life has a way of working out, even if it doesn't follow the plan you had in mind. Ending toxic relationships. As you continue on your spiritual path, you'll find yourself becoming more sensitive to the energy around you. This heightened awareness often leads to a reevaluation of the relationships in your life. You start to notice which connections uplift you and which ones drain you. You become more attuned to how certain people make you feel, whether they support your growth or keep you stuck in old patterns. Toxic relationships can take many forms. They can be friendships, romantic partnerships, or even family ties. These relationships are often characterized by a lack of balance, where one person takes more than they give, or where negativity, criticism, and judgment are the norms. As you grow spiritually, it becomes harder to tolerate these kinds of connections because they no longer resonate with your evolving sense of self. This isn't to say that you immediately cut off everyone who doesn't align with your new perspective. Instead, it's more of a gradual process. You might find yourself spending less time with certain people or setting healthier boundaries. Sometimes these changes happen naturally. Your priorities shift, and the relationships that no longer serve you simply fall away. It's important to remember that letting go of toxic relationships isn't about judging or blaming others. It's about honoring your own growth and well-being. You deserve to be surrounded by people who support and encourage you, who see and appreciate the person you are becoming. And as you make space for healthier connections, you'll find that the quality of your relationships improves dramatically. In place of toxic relationships, you'll start attracting people who resonate with your true self, people who inspire, challenge, and uplift you. These relationships feel more balanced, more aligned with your values, and more nourishing to your soul. Surrounding yourself with like-minded souls not only accelerates your spiritual growth, but also brings a deep sense of fulfillment and belonging. So as you move through your spiritual awakening, you'll find that these 4 shifts are just the beginning of a much deeper transformation. Each step you take brings you closer to your true self, your purpose, and a life that feels more aligned with your soul. The journey isn't always easy, and there will be moments of doubt and discomfort. But remember, every time you let go of something that no longer serves you, you're making space for something greater. Trust in your path, honor your growth, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for joining me in today's video. If you found these insights helpful, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what shifts you've experienced on your spiritual journey. And to continue your path to greatness, watch one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.